It's Friday, the week is over, the weekend's here, and it's time, as always, for YouTuber news. It's great to see you, Notification Squad. Let's do it. Team 10 members are dropping like flies. Markiplier has been exiled from YouTube, but for good reason. Poppy has finally publicly responded to the accusations made by Mars Argo, and of course it's the return of Dan Howatch. All this, plus I'll tell you how to tell the difference between Dan and Phil, Dan is the British one, on this week's edition of YouTuber News, the video news service from WeTheUnicorns.com, the website that was recently dubbed adequate by Website Weekly, North Korea's only website review magazine. Our first story, Team 10, more like Team 3 or 4, because a couple of them have been leaving. Boom! Got him. Yes, Jake Paul's beloved team. Jake Paul's beloved YouTube squad is sadly falling apart at the seams, which is bizarre because everything else he does is usually so organized and orderly, you know. Who saw this one coming? Chance Sutton is out, Nick Crompton is out. I mean, to be honest, I could probably just make up a bunch of names. Everyone in Team 10 has these same sort of generic names where a lot of them have like a first name for both of their names, you know, like Jack Cody, Cody Coderson. I mean, I could just make up some names now and you'd probably think they were Team 10 members, like Tad Pepins, Bolf Christ, Piers Morgan. Do you know what I mean? Like, you could just say these names. The point is, a bunch of them have left. Obviously, we're all heartbroken about these people leaving this team, but none of the departures stings quite as much as my man, Nick Crompton. I mean, in many ways, he was the backbone of Team 10. England, of course, is his city. But now that he's gone, I'm starting to think that maybe the real city was the friendships we made along the way. The departures don't seem to have fazed Jake, who is continuing on doing, you know, whatever it is he does. I don't know, whatever the things. Put a giraffe in a Hummer or something, but the giraffe probably got hurt. I don't know. Look, just give it 3 more months and Team 10 will probably be over, or Jake will be even more rich. Either way, let's move on. Our second story, Markiplier has been exiled from YouTube, but don't worry, it's for a pretty good reason. As you'll remember, Markiplier released a tasteful nudes calendar with the proceeds going for charity. You may remember because you follow Markiplier or because you follow YouTuber News, because we covered that here on the old YouTuber News. His first wave of sales for the calendar were massively successful, so he put the calendar up on sale again, and now the calendar has almost become too successful, if that's possible. He has sold thousands upon thousands of these calendars. The only problem is that Mark said that he would personally sign every single one of them, meaning that he has a bit of a conundrum on his hands now because he has an ungodly amount of calendars to sign, but he still has to sign them. Now, if you know Mark, and I do, and we're close personal friends, and if he tells you that he doesn't know who I am, that's actually just an in-joke we have, and that's classic Mark, and that's very funny. If you know Mark, he is not the kind of person to just wimp out and not do something for his fans. So he has said that, yeah, he is gonna do it. He's gonna go to the factory and he is gonna sign every single one of these thousands upon thousands of calendars. But obviously, that is massively time consuming, hence his newfound exile from YouTube. He can't make any videos because he's too busy doing the old squiggly diggly. Now Mark has asked fans to fill the void of his videos by uploading videos themselves to social media using the hashtag, well, he used several hashtags in the video. I'll link the video down below. You can just use whatever hashtag you want. The point is, it's time to get creating. In fact, I made this video today specifically because he asked for videos, and definitely not because I just make this video every week. This was for Mark, and you're actually very welcome. Best of luck, Mark. I hope your hand doesn't just detach from all the signing, because that'll happen. Oh, that will happen. This reminds me of a similar situation I got in when I released my Tasteful News calendar, where I got massive hand strain from, no, they didn't want signatures. It was, yeah, the fans basically did a big GoFundMe and raised money for me to shred every single one of my nude calendars, and I had to do it. So I had to personally shred every single one of the calendars. And I'd printed 100,000 because I'd really thought that people would want them, but actually no people wanted them. So yeah, I shredded every single one, and then I think they took the shreddings and used them in zoos. And the animals will just go to the bathroom in there. So, you know, in ideal, but kind of the same situation. Our third story, and it's quite a serious one. Poppy has responded to accusations from Mars Argo, who, as you may know, alleged that Titanic Sinclair, real name Corey Mixter, psychologically and physically abused her when they previously worked together. Now, if you're not familiar with this story, I did cover it on a previous episode. I'll link that down below. So if you want a full catch up, click that episode. I kind of ran through it. But in brief, that Poppy currently works with someone called Titanic Sinclair. That's his stage name. He previously worked with someone who went by the stage name Mars Argo. Her real name is Brittany Sheets. They stopped working together and he started working with Poppy, and now she recently put out a lawsuit against him alleging that he abused her. Poppy has now responded to these accusations, saying that she does not believe them and accusing Mars of now working with someone who abused her. It's a very tangled web of accusations. I don't want to go into it too deeply because, I don't want to get sued myself, but also I don't want to misrepresent what anyone's saying. To get the full rundown, I'll link our story down below. There was quite a lengthy statement from Poppy, and you can kind of get the full situation there. But in short, Poppy is not siding with Mars. She's denying that. She says that she was very upset to see the word abuser being attached to Titanic Sinclair. So the situation is continuing, only becoming more complex. We'll see how this plays out once the lawsuit makes it to court, if it's not resolved outside of court. And we'll keep you posted as it unfolds. Well, those are our 3 stories for the week. And you know what that means? It's time for our ever popular segment, So You Think You Can Dan. No, that's not it. What is it? You the Dan. No? What is it? Dandemonium. What the hell is this segment called? I don't even know. Dan. Oh, that's right. It's time for Dan How Watch. Welcome to Dan How Watch. I'm Miss Vanjie. What's Dan been up to this week? Well, as you know, Dan is getting ready for the 2018 World Cup, the Football World Cup. And of course, he's playing a referee, and he is the first referee that's been allowed to play the game itself. So he won't be refereeing, he will be actually taking part in Latvia's national team. Now, Dan's been getting ready all year for this, right? He's been doing his kicks, he's been doing his slide tackles, he's been ironing his shorts, he's been putting his red card and yellow card in his pocket. He won't actually get to use them, of course, because he is playing the game, but Dan is pumped and ready to go. But then disaster struck. You see, Dan is going on a little thing called the Interactive Introverts Tour, and it turns out that the 56th date of the tour coincides with Latvia's very first game in the World Cup. Now, this is a huge problem for Dan because he's the star player on both Interactive Introverts and the football match. Phil is also a star, don't worry. Phil is also a star, but he is the star player on that team, and they need him for scoring goals and such. It's a real conundrum. So he cloned himself. Which is, well, you'd expect quite a boring ending. So yeah, there's 2 Dans now. No big deal, but there are 2 Dans. One of them's evil, but is it the original one or the clone? Come back next week to find out. This has been Dan How Watch. Nonsense. Absolutely nonsense. Great episode. The prospect of a twin Dan really opens up the narrative potential of Dan How Watch, giving us content potentially for weeks, if not months. Well, the sound of Dan doing his kicks reminds me that it's time for our question of the week. I asked you a question of the week last week, as I do every week, and a bunch of you answered, and I want to thank you so much for answering the question, and I also want to thank you for subscribing. We just hit 70,000 subscribers on this channel, which is wonderful. Thank you so much for subscribing and watching. You mean the world to me and to us, so thank you. But now, on to the question of the week. You see, there was only one person last week who got the correct answer to the question, and that was someone by the name of Why Do I Exist? You alright there, bud? You doing okay? And they said the answer was marbles, which is correct. That actually is the correct answer to the question. If you think about it, it was a bit of a trick question, but if you did a little bit of calculation and you carried the 1, and you did have to carry the 1, and a 1 did need to be carried, but that was actually the correct answer. It was marbles. So congratulations to Why Do I Exist? Your prize this week is 40,000 whistles. Used whistles, like, whew, still damp, a lot of them, still damp. Yeah, sorry. time for this week's question, which is as follows. Which YouTuber... To get your answers in for that in the comment section down below. I can't wait to read them, and I'll read the correct one on next week's episode. Huh? Quick reminder that today's episode was brought to you by Horse. Horse. He nice big dog. He do good carry man. Give sugar horse. Nice dog. I'm Benedict Townsend. This has been YouTuber News, which airs every Friday on the With Unicorns YouTube channel, Facebook page, Twitter page, all the pages. Don't forget the best way to get YouTuber News is to hit subscribe, and you get those brand new episodes delivered to you every week, straight into your eyes, but in a good way. So if you've enjoyed today's episode, please can you hit subscribe and I've lost it. I've bloody lost it. And also, if you could do me a small favor, just a small favor, if you've enjoyed today's episode or if you enjoy the series in general, please could you hit like. It genuinely does help us out with the old algorithms behind the scenes at YouTube. You know what YouTube's like? It's run by bloomin' robots. So if you hit like, it really helps me out. And they don't feed me unless I get the likes. Unless I get at least 100 likes, they don't feed me. And if you're wondering who they are, you don't even want to know. You don't even want to know, man. Have a wonderful weekend, friends. I hope it's really fun. I hope there's nice sunshine. I hope you maybe find $5 on the floor and you go, my days I found $5. That's pretty cool. Should I keep it? I mean, there's nobody around. Maybe I'll keep it. Maybe I'll go to the shop, buy myself a nice ice cream. So you walk over to the shop and you go, shopkeep, one ice cream, please. You hand over the $5 bill and they go, freeze! This was a sting, buddy. We planted that $5. You're a thief. You go to prison forever. And you're like, oh no! Ah, damn it! Actually, I kind of hope that doesn't happen to you because that's a bad situation. I'll see you next week.
But when he got there, he found that something was a little awry.
This is making noise.
He had said to the stage manager,
It's playing last week's YouTuber News.
To be a little
What?
bit of,
Why?
neon lighting.
Is this what it's like to watch this?
Neon lighting. At the stage
Oh
manager.
no!
And unfortunately, not.
I killed it. Don't worry, it's dead now. I made it be dead. What are you still doing here? Go home, man. The week's over. Kick off your shoes. Go home. Go and play in the pool or something. No, I live here, so I can't leave, but you can. Get out while you can. Chew!